it was tough for me to not click that little audio file to hear what he had to say. But because he didn't give any pre-warning, he just sent it to the group, and I was like, hang on, is this your review of the show? Because normally he sends just random like fart video,
Yeah, but those are
noises.
like 4 second long videos, not 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, 5 minutes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
but is he like stuck in the bathroom? And he sent us the whole commentary of it.
I gotta tell you, when I see an audio clip pop up in our WhatsApp group and I see it's like 6 seconds, I get excited. Especially because you can see the audio line before you hit play and it's like down, and then you see like
And
a
then it
spike, and
spikes.
then maybe like an after spike. It's like, oh boy. Welcome everybody. If you've been following along, dude, this I'm really excited about this episode, but I also have mixed feelings about it. This podcast episode, because uh, it's exciting because we're going to be talking about the finale of Dark Wolf, which we've been following along and have all really been enjoying. And yes, people, the reason you haven't heard Shao is because Shao is officially away. He is going to be away for this episode, back for the next one, and then away again. So that's why you've just heard Hayden and I. So I'm a bit mixed feelings because he's not here in person to talk about it. I know he sent some audio clips for us that we'll play. But I'm also really excited because it may not be at the time of recording, but when this comes out, it will officially be in October. And October is the first month that we are doing our giveaway. We've talked about it before. We are giving away, Shao came back with these Sandwear spatial audio earbuds, Bluetooth, from the gaming convention in Seattle. And so what we're doing is we're giving away a secret keyword, is it called? A hidden word? We'll call it a keyword, the password, each episode in October. And if you email us that to chummythumbs@gmail.com, your name, you will get 5 entries into a draw to win a pair of these headphones. And Hayden Chow dropped some off for me before he left. They're pretty fucking cool, man. Like when he was describing it, it sounded cool, and you're like, okay, like let's test this shit out. And I did, and I found this like crazy like YouTube channel that puts out these like spatial audio like videos, I guess you'd call them.
Yep.
And the sound quality in these things is awesome, and how they can achieve the spatial audio in earbuds, I just, the technology I don't understand. That's okay, I don't understand most technology, but man, just I'd lay back and just like listen with these things on, and it was fire. So I highly recommend everybody to get those entries in, and let's not keep them waiting on this first episode. Let's give them the keyword right now. Hayden, over to you. Drum roll.
Teabag. One word.
Tea bag. Now, is that T, the letter T, B-A-G, or is it like I'm drinking tea, T-E-A-B-A-G?
That one. Teabag. Tea bag. One word. I'll take it as one word. We will take it as one word. That's your first secret word, password,
Keyword, whatever
keyword,
we're calling it.
whatever word, special word you need to enter the sweepstakes.
Yes, and we're gonna do this for 3 months, folks. We're gonna do this for October. There'll be a giveaway, November giveaway, December giveaway. So get your entries in. There'll be bonus ways to get entries via social media. So make sure you're following us on there, Chummy Thumbs. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into the real reason why we're here. The finale of Dark Wolf. Huh. So we talked last episode. We talked about where's it going to go? What's going to happen? Here's our thoughts. I'll tell you one thing none of us guessed was that the episode's going to start 2 months later from where the previous one ended, from episode 6. And instantly when I see this and it's like 2 months later, whatever it was, Um, I thought, okay, this is interesting. They've allowed time to pass so they can build the story. It's not like a immediately after, where this, I think, was a smart writing choice because it opened up where the story can go next. And then again, at halfway through the episode, I don't know, like a little while later, we advance another 2 months. So it's like we're kind of jumping ahead, which allows room to breathe, which I liked. I don't think this had as much action as the previous one, but as a finale, I didn't expect it to, because it's more needing to wrap kind of everything up, as well as open up for a potential season 2, which I think they did. And they do have some time in between where Terminal List season 1 starts and where Terminal List Dark Wolf ended. So they could do another season, which I'm kind of excited about. I don't know what you thought of it, but for myself, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. LT wasn't really in it. He had that brief sort of scene with Haverford. And then when LT rescued him after the standoff at the place in like a little farm or whatever it was, I wasn't expecting it to be Pierce. I wasn't expecting it to be Chris Pratt's character that came back to rescue him. Because LT isn't in any of the other stuff, correct? He's just in that Haverford scene.
Yeah, that's all I remember seeing him in.
Yeah, and he does go to bat for Chief, and he does accuse Haverford. But I kind of kept thinking he was going to come back. So yeah, I was kind of expecting him to be a bit more. It didn't throw me that he wasn't. I wasn't mad. I thought the episode still worked as a whole. I thought they did concluding it. We'll get into some more meat and potatoes, but this is kind of my general stuff. Overall, really liked the episode. Now I know, listen, I said Shao is not here. He's not, but he was kind enough to record some of his stuff, and I actually want to play some of that now. Hayden, if we could play some of that now. Let's hear what Shao has to say, and then we'll get into some more.
Okay, let's get down to it. So, all right. Dark Wolf, what a Lone Wolf. No, fuck, I actually don't even know the actual name. Terminal List Season 2. Now, we have raved from the beginning of this show can do no wrong. This show's amazing. One of the best there is in terms of war shows out there. And it still stands. I still agree with that. As you can tell, there is a however in my tone. However, based on what we said and what we wanted to happen and what we wanted to see happen, last time we discussed episode 6, was it? I was a little bit underwhelmed with this season or series finale, season's finale, I don't know. There were a few things I wanted to see, even though I wasn't sure if they're going to execute it. And we discussed it last time. As much as I wanted to see LT back into action and helping him out and stuff like that, we didn't see that. He had one short little scene, pretty much calling out Uncle Phil. And I kind of knew that was going to happen, right? I kind of discussed the fact that he had his saying, he had that line, something about the brotherhood. And I think that's all the showrunners wanted, was to show that he's still, as much as he had that exit talking to Chief about not wanting to, the cause is not on track anymore or whatever, he still looks out for his brothers. That's his moment. And I can kind of see how they could have, made it into a bigger thing and made him come back again. But I think if they didn't have that scene, then him coming back would have been maybe a little bit too dramatic. And this show is obviously there's drama in it, but I think I'm rambling. Even though there's drama in it, I just think that there's a lot of moments in this show where they just steer from being it too Hollywood, too blockbustery, and kind of playing down a little bit more on the realism. And I feel like that's a moment where they're like, you know what, that's enough for him. He doesn't need that, like that moment that Spider-Man shows up in Avengers or Infinity War or whatever that movie was, you don't really need that. Okay, so that's one thing. 2, we discussed the fact that we wanted to have a big battle. Now, there was a big battle, but I kind of wanted it to be a team thing, Chris Pratt came and saved Reeser, came and saved the day, sort of thing. I guess it sets up the first season, since this is a prequel, quite well. But I kind of wanted the boys to get together and do one hurrah thing. Now, thirdly, as for Mo and Pervy Hemsworth, they had their small moment. I do like, Mo got to plant the bomb, executed that guy the same way that they killed Eliza. Still don't know what her name is. There's also just the fact that we didn't know what was going to happen with Uncle Phil. Now, the nerve of Uncle Phil to go back to his place, he knows he's next. He sees that on the news that guy was killed. He knows who did it. He knows he's next. He knows he's gonna, they're gonna go hunting after him. I get that. He goes up to his place and sees Chief just chilling in his dining room, I guess. And he must know, right? He probably knows that he's about to die, but he just plays it very nonchalantly, I guess. Maybe he doesn't want to give him that satisfaction of whatever, of seeing him scared and begging for his life and all that stuff. All I can think of was, man, what is Chief thinking at this very moment? What does he want to do to the Uncle Phil that he's not going to do because it's not the right way or whatever, And I guess there is satisfaction in him knowing that he's going to rot in a prison or whatever. Who knows? He might Epstein himself and just kill himself. Although, who knows? That might not be how things went down. But all in all, it's, I do give this show still an 8 overall. I think, not that I didn't like the finale. I just think that the finale could have turned it into a 9. I think, in certain aspects. But overall, again, very, very good show. I don't know if there's going to be another one after, but 8 out of 10. 8 thummies.
So now that we've heard from Shao, I can give my little quick round out of it, because it was really tough for me to... Shao obviously was waiting till that episode dropped so he could watch it first because he was leaving. And I waited until the night before to watch it. So I've watched it most recently. And it was tough for me to not click that little audio file to hear what he had to say. Because he didn't give any pre-warning. He just sent it to the group and I was like, hang on, is this your review of the show? Because normally he sends just random fart video,
Yeah,
noises.
but those are 4-second long videos, not 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, 5 minutes? Oh, what is he stuck in the bathroom and he sent us the whole commentary of it?
I gotta tell you, when I see an audio clip pop up in our WhatsApp group and I see it's like 6 seconds, I get excited. Especially because you can see the audio line before you hit play and it's like down and then you see like
And
a
then it
spike
spikes.
and then maybe like an after spike. It's like, oh boy.
This is gonna be a good one. But yeah, so I listened to it today to hear what he had to say, and I had to agree with him on some of those points that he just talked about. Like, not that I was not disappointed with the episode ending. I was how do I say this without sounding like I sounded disappointed? Like Shao said, like, it wasn't what I was expecting, but now looking at it in hindsight, it was kind of where it had to go. And I believe that it had to go there because they are setting up for a second season, especially the very last scene with Chief on the polygraph machine, which was kind of a little bait and switch scene. I thought he was getting debriefed by the CIA, like he'd been, not captured, but he'd turned himself in and they were like kind of debriefing him. But then it turns out he was in a job interview for some other organization that we don't know about. What did they say? You're now part of, like, why would you want to be part of ground control or whatever it was? And he's like, because I belong here. Something along those lines. So he's obviously joining back into either the military or the Secret Service or something. But initially I was like, okay, 2 months in the future. So they've been on the run. He's still in Europe. He's living out on some farm. Did they say it was Israeli government that was tracking him down?
No. It was Iranians.
Iranian.
Because it was it was because they took the bearing. He has the bearings. And so, but he had his VPN in. But then, when he pulled the VPN, which is part of the plot, part of the plan, because he wanted to bait them there.
Yeah.
Because Tech Girl needed 15 minutes.
So I felt like, last episode I said I hope that the finale is like a 2-hour like mini film.
Yeah.
And it was just another hour. But then I was like, well, technically if you run episodes 6 and 7 back to back, you've got a 2-hour film. You've got a high intensity last episode and then you go into your wrap up part of your film, So I was okay with that. Initially I was kind of like, oh, all right, so this is big explosion, one-on-one sort of. I didn't feel like there was enough of a build up to all of a sudden have Chief Ramboing it, against the Iranian military in Germany. Like, I was like, hang on, why are we like opening from here? But then if you play back from the previous episode and it rolls into it, which is what I did actually, because I was like, I need to see where it goes from the end of the last one into this one, just to sort of see the flow. It flows a lot better that way, but sort of taking it from the start, I was like, But it was a good episode. It had, again, it kept it from being cliched. It didn't, like, like you were saying, like when Chief was in freaking Uncle Phil's house, he didn't like, I was like, okay, he's gonna kill him, but he didn't. He was like, I'd rather see you rot in jail. And I was like, oh, okay, that's different.
And even that, like, what I was waiting for, and I'm glad they didn't, again, because it went against cliche, was the old, well, I'm not gonna kill you, but when I get up, I'm gonna leave the gun on the table. And then they shoot themselves. Yeah. Like, I kept waiting, even when he left, like, and the police were rolling up. I was like, please don't hear a gunshot. Please don't hear a gunshot. Please don't. Like, I didn't want it because I was like, that's so cliche. And again, they didn't do it, which I love.
I have a feeling that his character will still be, not Chief's, Haverford. will probably be given, like, this is how these government organizations work on these shows and films. They'll give him a job. They'll give him another job and he'll be in charge of another team. Or
he'll get a promotion.
Or some other country will bring him in board. Bring him in board. Bring him on board. So he'll be a recurring bad dude.
Maybe it'll be a butterfly terminal list crossover, and that's
Yeah.
who Coyote Ugly, Coyote
Ends
Ugly
up
and
working
Dr.
for.
Phil get back together.
That would be okay. Let's pitch that. That would be a good crossover. You got Daniel Day Kim and Taylor Kitsch.
No, it wouldn't be. Here's why. One followed the cliches and one did not. It wouldn't work unless Butterfly left the cliches behind.
Yep. This is what they need for their season 2. How do we not follow cliches?
Yeah.
But so I think they did a really good job. I thought that, I mean, we were way off base with how LT would come back, and he literally had one scene.
You know what though? Hold on a second. Were we?
Well, my prediction was.
Well, no, I don't think it was. I think we were all right, as a matter of fact, because we referred to him as LT, and it was in fact an LT that rescued him and came in guns a-blazing. Wasn't maybe the LT people thought we were talking about, but we were definitely talking about Chris Pratt's LT.
If you want to say that now in hindsight. Yeah, we're definitely talking about him.
Yeah. I thought that was obvious. Yeah.
After he read Bigfoot Stick's letter.
Yeah. Multiple times.
I'm guessing, the LT is it's lieutenant, right? So
yeah,
it was his lieutenant. I can't remember what his actual name is. But South African guy, He's obviously, because he stepped away from it, but he was in the CIA in Langley as well. So he's like, this is the guy you want? Like, he's right there. So he obviously he'll be back. I think that they were setting it all up for a season 2. I feel like there's going to definitely be a season 2, and they're going to get the old team back together at some point. That would be a really great season 2 to kind of see. They've all separated. How they're going to end up back together.
And I also liked too that when they all separated, like how they just divvied up who was going to get who. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're going to kill this person. I'm going to kill this person. Leave this person to me. And it was like they all got, like they kind of got to wrap up one thing,
The interesting thing, though, is that they chose Mo to assassinate someone when he was the one the entire series that was, like, against that kind of killing.
Yes, but think of the person he killed.
Yeah, it was a good
killed
killing.
The brother who was trying to get the bearings and was the reason why a lot of
what happened.
Mo's friends were killed. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand it, but they kind of built him up to, they have all of these like PTSD moments, and then they kind of.
I thought they would go further with some of that stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it kind of played out in an episode, maybe an episode and a half, and then it was, you didn't really see, because I thought maybe that's a missed opportunity, but there was still so much going in. Like, how much time do you want to spend on that?
Yeah. I guess that's kind of, you do those build-up episodes to kind of get an understanding of who all the characters are and how they all relate to each other. And then you have to go, hang on, well, it is technically just Chief's story, so we have to focus more on his path. And if it didn't have Mo in it, then of course you're not going to see him as much.
And yeah, exactly. You want to flesh out the characters, because then as an audience member too, you care more. If they didn't flesh it out and he was just a guy, you're just kind of waiting for him to die. Or something, you don't care, or you don't care if he does. So, and with this show, there's always that threat of somebody dying. So if you didn't have that time to build out their character in the beginning, then we as the audience wouldn't feel that threat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, ultimately, no one died. They didn't Game of Thrones it. They didn't just be like, I mean, apart from
Yeah,
Elisa,
you
she didn't
definitely
go.
got it right one of those times.
One of those times. Mossad, Lady Mossad. Um, she obviously died unceremoniously, but none of the others did. And I guess
No,
if we're
none of
talking
it.
about it's a finale, so we've got to go back through it. So the lady that Mo let go, she didn't come back at all.
Oh, yeah.
Not in a
We thought if she
negative
did,
way.
she might come back to help, but
Yeah. But the story obviously went away on a different path than what it initially was. Because they were just.
and you know what? I'm okay with that. I like that because cliche, she would come back and want vengeance. And this is just like it was a moment that he had of clarity and making that choice to not kill somebody who he deemed innocent and not a threat, nor would be a threat. And there was no consequence, no bad consequence for it, which is kind of nice because that's fulfills that moment for Mo.
I have to just mention this because I thought it was. I mean, it's a part of, as sad as it is, it's a part of reality that these kind of attacks happen in public. But Mo, when he did the revenge bombing, it was literally on the side of a kid's soccer field with the families there and the wife there, and I was like, oh man, really? Like you're killing one, but you're destroying the lives of many others. But then I thought, well, that in reality, that's probably exactly what would happen.
Yeah, tit for tat.
It creates a great revenge series.
Yeah.
If you fast forward 10 years into the future, the son of the Iranian diplomat guy becomes a freaking whatever fighter, freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter. Freedom fighter. What did you I would say of all the shows, I'm curious to know what you think too, that we've been following for the last little while on the show. This would probably have to be up there with probably with my favorite so far. Like as a whole, I mean, you know, it's the Star Wars stuff. There's that like I love Star Wars. I love the universe. It's fun. Um, all the shows sort of had like and movies things I liked, but to me this was like the package. It it wasn't just like, oh, I like the action and the story's good, but or or the cinematography's good, but the story's a bit cliche or um vice versa. Like it's a good story, but it's I don't like this. It was like for me, like as a whole, this series, and I really hope they do another one because it had everything for me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Um, like you said, I mean, everything that we've watched has had elements that were enjoyable to watch and good to watch and enough to keep me going. But this one, I'm very curious actually to watch the Terminal List now because I don't know if you can remember off the top of your head, Justin, if it is on par or better or just a little bit
Oh no,
worse.
it's not. It's not. This is far superior. And to be
Ah,
honest, that's why when we like because I think it was when we were about 2 episodes into this one, I had said to you guys, I had read somewhere where they were talking about the new one and they said spoilers, like you must watch Terminal List first. But I couldn't remember if like because this obviously takes place before, but I was like, I don't know how much it would affect Terminal List, one, and two, like I don't know if you guys are ever gonna watch it. Maybe you will. Maybe after this you'll go and watch it. But like, do the two compare? No. Did I like the first one? Yeah, it was a good enough show. I watched it all,
good
but
enough
it
to
wasn't like this. But it
yeah.
wasn't like this. Like this is like they crushed it with this one.
See, I was gonna go.
If
and
you were
watch
to
the
look at
first
the
one
ratings,
now.
like I'd be curious while you're giving the rest of your opinion thoughts here. I'll look up the rating difference between the two.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was going to go back and watch the Terminal List, but now that you said it's not as good, I don't know if I will. I probably still will. I probably still will to kind of just see where the story ends up. But yeah, I felt like this one had all of the elements were working together. Like the casting worked well, the story worked well, the action scenes were great, the tension, like we always talk about the peaks and valleys of the story, and it wasn't just always go 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 go. Like those scenes that were go 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 had the lulls in it, and then it stepped up to another scene, and then it had all of those things that you like drawed you like to want to keep watching it, and where is this going, like all elements of great storytelling and great filmmaking, so kudos to the team behind it. And it definitely will disappoint me if it doesn't get a sequel. So Prime, like it's got, from what I remember, it's got great score, like episode scores, and it's in the top 10 on Prime's viewing or whatever it is. So let's hope it gets a sequel, because I would love to see where the story continues. And like you said, it only has a small window between this and when Terminal List with Chris Pratt starts. So it you don't need to do too many seasons. You do one, maybe two more seasons if it's super popular. Like,
Yeah.
but overall, yeah, it was like it gave me, funnily enough, just to make a comparison to like a film, it gave me like the first Jason Bourne kind of feel in terms of everything in it. There was enough character development. The action scenes were there. Like not the lulls, but like the quieter stuff was there. And there's still room to expand on that. Like Chief's wife, like is that going to be a thing still? Like the estrangement there, is the estrangement between him and LT going to like be resolved? Is it going to focus more on real life morality things? What am I trying to say? Like the life of a soldier. Some people only know how to be soldiers, and then when they're out of it, they don't know what to do. And there's no.
That's like the business card that was left for him, right? When he said he's out, he's like, whatever he said, I forget the quote, like, but along the lines of, like guys like us don't ever like get out. Like this is our life.
Yeah.
And I forget what his business card said, and it just said, like, there wasn't even a name on it. It just said something about lead. God. Anyways.
So there are plenty of things that it gave us, and then there's plenty of things that are left to just to explore, which I think is a good. And they didn't leave it like us wanting more. It's just I want more, and I know they can explain more, but I didn't feel like if they don't, that I've missed out. So I think that's a good overall sign that it's been a very good series for us, like to watch week to week. And you know what I did like? Before I give it a Chummy Thumbs score like Shao gave, he gave it a solid 8. I really enjoy, like, maybe this is because we came from, like, we grew up with, like, television. You had to wait week to week to watch episodes, right? You had to, and it forced you to, like, you watch it and then you talk about it with your buddies at work or with your buddies at school or whatever. And it kind of, streaming sort of has gone back to that, which I sort of like. They sort of went through a period where they were like, here's every episode all at once, binging. And I think they kind of did that as a business model to get more viewers in. It's like, we've got all these great shows that you can watch all at once. And then they were like, oh, let's give it to you in chunks. Like, here's the first 4 episodes, and then it's like some of them will still do splits. Like Wednesday was like, here's the first half of it, here's the second half of it. This was like, it had already been out for a couple of weeks, so we missed, like, you were on top of it from episode 1, but you brought it to us after the second one, and the third was just about to come out. But it was really cool to kind of watch week to week in anticipation. Now we know Shao has mentioned in the chat before that he hates waiting. He's like, I just want to binge all the episodes. And like, you gotta just wait. I know, like, it's good, but sometimes the waiting makes it better.
And for me too, like, there's certain, like, Kate and I just started this new one, and I find Netflix does more of the full season releases, whereas Prime, Paramount Plus, and Disney, they do the once a week. They usually do like the first two and then once a week after that. So it gets you hooked, and then you wait. But there's certain shows that I want to binge, and there's certain shows that I don't mind the week build up for that exact reason that you just said. And that exact thing has come up multiple times when just you and I have been talking, or it's like you can't wait to watch it, and then you can't wait to talk to your buddies about it the next day. You know, it's like, that's half as fun as the actual watching it. And then when it's binge, I watched the first 5. Well, I only watched the first 2.5 or 3. Well, what was the last thing you remember? Oh, I remember that. And you don't know what you can talk about and not talk about. And
yeah. Kind of good. Like, I like the fact that we can discuss things, and you listeners, hopefully you enjoy this too. But you pick up on things that you don't initially remember in the moment, but discussing it and hearing the thoughts of you, Justin, hearing Shao's thoughts, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And that could, you create these, these like red lines to everything. The strings. What if this? What if this? What if this?
And
what
even
if this?
like when you brought up, I think it was last episode about, like when we were talking about Chief and LT and how could you just walk away from that? And you're like, well, if you're in and then you're like, if you're in LT shoes, and you brought in that perspective, and it was like, whoa, I never thought of it from that perspective before. So that's what's great about this.
Mm-hmm.
And the show gave us lots of that juicy stuff because it was rich with character, it was rich with story. It didn't follow cliches. It kept you on your toes.
So yeah, all of those things. I'm gonna give it a score.
Ooh.
Now I don't have like. I really need to come up with like a grading system where it starts at a 10 and then you can kind of take off. But I didn't have the time to. I'm just thinking that right now. So off the cuff, I'm gonna give it. Oh, I don't know if I want to give it in that area. I'm gonna give it an 8.9.
Ooh.
8.9, because again, there are some things that we've just discussed that didn't get fully fleshed out, and obviously there are reasons behind it, and you can't have everything. It's not perfect, but like Shao mentioned, a few, not letdowns for me, but I would have liked to have seen a different final episode, but I see why they've done it. So that's why I'm like, it's still a really high rated show for me. For 7 episodes, great characters, great camera work, great just like soundscape.
Dude, even the music, I was obsessed with some of the song choices and scenes. I was like, oh my god, like they'd catch me off by surprise. They're just not typical songs you hear in TV or.
Well, they had a
film.
perfect circle in, was it the last episode?
Oh, and
When
they had Tool in one of the earlier ones. They had Sober. I
And
was
I'm
like, oh my god. You know what I instantly did when that episode ended? I went and listened to Sober and added it to another one of my playlists because I was like, I have it on like my, liked songs, but I was like, fuck, I forgot how much I love this song. Yeah, it was awesome. I'm trying to think like, yeah, giving something a 10 is really hard. I'll give it a 9.5 because I don't know what they could have done better. They were working within limitations of, there is a series that came out before this that's already established, certain boundaries of where this can go, but also because they started earlier, there was some freedoms to it. and then with how they ended it, like leaving it open for another season, but also like wrapping up enough of it that, yeah, okay, do we know what happened to Haverford? No, they didn't really wrap it up. He left, the police were showing up, but you don't see anything. And then, yes, you see him taking the lie detector test to join something. What does that become? We don't know. But also, if we never know, just knowing that he's going back into that and he's chosen that, hey, this is where my life's going to go, kind of wraps up his arc in a sense, because everybody kind of like went off and it's like, well, how does it end for him? Well, it ends, if it does end, it in fact ends with him, yes, getting back into doing whatever shit he's doing. But like like I guess I can think of shows I liked better, but it's hard to really compare because, you're talking about shows where I've seen 5 seasons of it or 6 seasons or whatever. And even in those, there's seasons where I was like, oh my God, this season was unreal. And these episodes were unreal. And then there's a season and episodes where you're like, but then it's like you're taking an overall comparison. But like as just like a standalone one season, like I think this had pretty much everything I would want. And so I'll give it a 9.5 just because fuck it. I'm giving it a 10. Go see if you haven't seen the show, people, go see it. What's interesting though, because I did find the Rotten Tomato scores.
Yeah.
So Dark Wolf is rated higher, but here's the original, the terminal list. 40% average tomato. So certified rotten, I guess it's green, but 94% popcorn. So I guess that's like
the audience score.
Audience score. So low critic, high audience. Dark Wolf, 75% critic. So 35% higher on the critic side, but only 80% on popcorn. So actually 14 less on audience. But that doesn't surprise me because if you watch Terminal List and you really, really liked it, yeah, this was different. You weren't getting as much Chris Pratt.
I was going to say, I wonder if that's that's a big part of it, probably.
Yeah, totally.
That said, okay, before we fully wrap up, I just have to mention something about Chris Pratt in this series. I didn't fully believe him as a Navy SEAL. And I know he's only in it like
yeah, no, me too.
2 little bits. But even when he showed up to rescue him, when he was doing his Rambo thing, I was like, did Chris Pratt just dial this in for this one? Like, it didn't... He seemed a little too, for lack of a better word, too soft in the character, if that makes sense. He didn't seem like he was a top dog Navy SEAL that was in charge. And I was just like, maybe that was
like a chief.
Yeah, maybe that was the point.
Chief.
Not yet, he's not. So maybe if I watch Terminal List and see how he ends up, I'll understand better. But I just kind of watched those few episodes and I was like, oh, he's an executive producer. He's just putting himself in there so that people will watch it, right? But at the same time, I'm like, where's the Chris Pratt? Is it, like...
Where's Star-Lord?
Yeah, where's the Riz from the Star-Lord? Like, he's obviously, I'm gonna say that's exactly why the first one has a higher audience score, because he is a very charismatic actor and people love him for it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not in this one. Maybe they're expecting him and they're like, oh, he's not in this one as much. Who's this Taylor Kitsch guy? I'm like he's old. He's not old school, but he's like, he was on the cusp of being Chris Pratt level, celebrity, and I don't think he got his due, but maybe he will now.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a good point. And on that, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Hey, if you're emailing us the code word, don't forget it. It is teabag.
Teabag.
One word, TEABAG. Email it to chummythumbs@gmail.com. And let us know if you followed the show too. For a bonus entry, give us your rating of the show. So that's right. You get 5 if you just email us the code word. If you watched it, give us a rating. But I guess you could just make up any number to cheat for a bonus entry. So also tell us one thing you liked about it, and what if there's anything you thought that could have made it better for 6 entries. Yeah. And of course, people, like I mentioned earlier, there will be ways to get bonus entries. So make sure you're following us on social media. Like and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. And until next week, keep on thumbing.
Shao, you didn't do a keep on thumbing in your audio clip for us. Tisk,
Let's do
tisk.
one for him. Let's do one for him. On the count of 3, let's each do our imitation of Shao doing a keep on thumbing. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
1.
Oh, keep
on
thumbing.
Tumming. I got nothing. I was like, I wonder where he's going. Is he gonna go? Aww.
Oh, keep on thumbing. No, I can't even do a Shao accent. Shaccent.
A Shaxon. Shall we miss you? Come back soon.
We miss you, god damn it. I'm happy you're on the next one at least.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.